A milestone night turned miserable. Pep Guardiola's 100th Champions League match as Manchester City manager was supposed to be a celebration, but it ended in shock and silence. Instead of honoring his achievement, the night belonged to Bayer Leverkusen, who stunned the Premier League champions 2-0 in Manchester. And here's where it gets controversial. Did Guardiola's own decisions cost him the game? Leverkusen had arrived in England later than planned after a luggage issue grounded their flight in Germany. Yet despite the turbulence off the pitch, they showed calmness and discipline on it. Against all expectations, the visitors took control, capitalizing on a disjointed City side that looked out of rhythm from the opening whistle. For Guardiola, the defeat was a painful reminder of his own pre-match confession. There have been more disappointments than good moments for us in this competition. On his 100th Champions League outing, this loss added another dent to that uneasy record. The central question loomed large. Did Pep tinker too much? The Spaniard made 10 changes to the lineup that lost to Newcastle on the weekend, fielding a team that struggled to connect. Players seemed hesitant, unsure whether to play safe or take risks. "I have to accept it," Pep admitted after the match, acknowledging the criticism. "If we'd won, no one would talk about it, but maybe it was too much." He explained that his intention was to keep everyone involved and fresh for the long season ahead, but even he conceded, maybe it was over-rotation. Leverkusen's coach Kasper Hjulmand sympathized with City's packed schedule, but offered a subtle poke. Normally, Champions League teams rotate around 5 players. But no matter who City puts on the pitch, they're still full of quality. Yet deep down, his players couldn't believe their luck when they saw the team sheet. One staff member admitted being shocked by Guardiola's selection, revealing that they had prepared extensively for City's usual starting 11, and did not expect such widespread changes. To make matters worse, several key figures, Erling Haaland, Phil Foden and Ryan Cherki, started on the bench and entered too late to spark a comeback. Youngsters like Savinho and Oscar Bob floundered under pressure, and Omar Marmoush's efforts up front failed to ignite either the scoreboard or the subdued home crowd. City's play was sluggish, almost mechanical, and the chemistry that usually defines Guardiola's sides was nowhere to be found. When Leverkusen's captain Alejandro Grimaldo smashed in a ferocious first-half goal, and Patrick Schick rose high in the second half to head home the clincher, the Etihad fell silent. Guardiola's men now face Real Madrid on December 10th under enormous pressure to recover. And to prove this was just a blip, not the beginning of a downward slide. Reflecting afterward, Guardiola admitted that his players lacked belief. "They tried, but when you're at a big club, you must perform. Maybe with the regulars, we'd have had more confidence." His words hinted at regret, but also philosophy. He has always valued inclusivity and squad rotation, believing no human can handle non-stop fixtures. Still, critics questioned whether idealism had overtaken pragmatism. The defeat also carried historical weight. Guardiola became only the 3rd manager, after Ferguson and Wenger, to reach 100 Champions League matches with an English club. Yet this milestone match will be remembered for all the wrong reasons. The loss reignited the recurring debate. Should Guardiola chase perfection through tactical experiments, or stick with consistency when it matters most? Former City midfielder Michael Brown questioned the logic live on BBC Radio 5. "Why not field your strongest team, win the game, then rotate afterward?" Those changes gave Leverkusen belief the moment they saw the bench. And indeed, belief transformed the visitors. Grimaldo's thunderous strike and Schick's header sparked wild celebrations, their fans bouncing in unison behind the drummer's beat. A sight rarely seen at the Etihad after a City home loss. Coach Hjulmand couldn't hide his pride afterward. "This win shows our courage, composure, and teamwork. We had our moments of luck, but our spirit made the difference." Young defender Jarell Quansah added, "With so many senior players missing, it took character, determination, and grit. Everyone stepped up." The result sent shockwaves across Europe, not only because of the upset, but because it reopened a familiar debate. Has Guardiola's genius sometimes become his own worst enemy? Football fans will be divided, but here's the question that lingers. Would you rather see your manager risk everything for innovation, or play it safe and secure predictable wins? Drop your thoughts below. This conversation is far from over.